Wesley Carroll, number 81, will be a player to watch today. He's their top receiver. This will be Miami's first appearance in the Cotton Bowl. Dennis Erickson, his second season at Miami, led them to a national championship in his first year. We've got 7,500 fans, but a crowd today dominated by Texas Longhorn faithful. Coming down the ramp with David McWilliams. To play in this game for a record 19th time, with hopes of a national championship. Have come out to watch him exit the ramp. Look at the mind game by Miami. They're saying, hey, we're accustomed to this. They walked right out on the field and Miami was watching them. Intimidation tactics. Sends his team back to the sidelines. Been a lot of discussion this week. Emotionally, how will Miami come out of this game, since realistically their chances of winning the championship, winning it all, are very slim. Everyone feels the emotional edge belongs to Texas. Craig Erickson, the quarterback. Mike Sullivan to your right, flanked by Maurice Crum. Charles Farms, number 2. He's a Texan.
Let the caps come up a little bit, man. Up a little bit. There you go.
Oscar Giles and Stanley Richard. Kerry Cash. Alan Murray from Mobile, chairman.
Mr. Murray's going to toss the coin. If it comes up Texas, you win. If it comes up Miami, you win. That is hit the draft. All right. Miami, you win the toss. We'll defer. Oh, that's yours. Miami wins the toss. They'll defer. Texas receive, which goes spin. Put your back over there. Texas, put your back over here. Texas receive. Miami. Kick in this direction. All right, let's go.
Strength is bitch up, baby.
We'll see Peter Gardere and Texas on offense first. It's orange on orange. Bright orange against burnt orange in the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic, coming up next.
Plus, Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight. Cotton Incorporated for America's cotton growers. Cotton, the fabric of our lives. And by Oldsmobile. Stop by and see what's new from the new generation of Olds.
Huerta of Miami will kick to start the game. Excellent place kicker for the Hurricanes. He did have one run back this year, actually two for touchdowns, one by Russell White of California and one by the Rocket that really cost him against Notre Dame. Adrian Walker and Chris Samuels on the return for Texas. Kick comes to Samuels from the goal line. Smashed at the 14. Robert Bailey knocked him down hard at the 14. Peter Gardere, a sophomore quarterback from Houston, Robert E. Lee High School. And what a quarterback and a season he has had, although somewhat of a slow starter.
Samuels, who just returned that kick, will be in the backfield with Hadnot, Jim. And Samuels got up and tried to run off the field as you look at Johnny Walker and Keith Cash, two key receivers for Texas. And, of course, the Cash twins. Carey could be the most dangerous in the key to this attack. But Samuels, as I was saying, got up to run off the field after he was hit and then went back down after 2 steps. There he is. He just got to get those cobwebs out. Could have been one of the biggest hits, obviously, that we've seen all year. You could hear it up here.
What a message sent right away by Miami.
Well, it was Bailey that got to him. Watch this. Bang, right there, helmet to helmet. And that's the one that put the cobwebs up there in a hurry.
So Adrian Walker comes in for Samuels, who will sit out now. The first play, he was the expected starter. But it's Walker and Butch Hadnot, a freshman sensation. Running play with Walker. He comes out of a pile and gets to the 17 for a gain of 3. It's Robert Bailey again on the tackle. He made the hit on the kick. Todd Smith is the center, a former walk-on.
Miller and Boyd are the guards, and outside of them you've got Johnson and Stan Thomas. Thomas is the key. Texas wants to run right at Russell Maryland, and they'll do it behind number 58 Jeff Boyd and 51 Stan Thomas. They're All-American.
Over 2,000 yards, Peter Gardere. 2nd and 7. Hadnot. Upended at the 23. It'll be 3rd and 1, and he was tackled by Bailey. Bailey has made the first 3 tackles of this game. And let's set the Miami defense starting up front with that massive defensive line. Russell Maryland and Shane Curry. On the ends, Anthony Hamlet and Rusty Medeiros, a freshman from Missouri who has come on. Michael Barrow is the middle linebacker. Maurice Crum and Darren Smith join him. It's 3rd and 1 for Texas from the 24. Lining up in the I. Walker. And a tackle by Crum and a loss of 2.
Jim, the tackle was made by Crum, but the play was made by Bailey, number 23. Bailey got instant penetration, forced the play to go wide, and consequently, that's when Crum came up and made the play. But watch number 23 on the left of your screen come through. He's in there right now, forces everybody wide. Crum skates down the line and makes the tackle.
In to punt is Alex Waits, an All-Southwest Conference punter, averaging nearly 43 yards per punt. Kevin Williams on the return. Left-footed boot, didn't catch it, and it goes out of bounds near the 50. Miami set up now from its own 49, and there are flags as a little altercation takes place near the Miami bench.
Well, the play carried off the field and over to the bench. You know, it's interesting, Jim, looking early on here. We thought Texas would have the emotional lead with a 10-1 record and playing for the national title, but early on, it looks like Miami came out and is really setting the tone for this game.
Chad McMillan, number 77 of Texas, snapped it and then came downfield in the coverage and was taken out of bounds aggressively. But
we have a dead ball. Personal foul. White.
And Miami got flagged for the
We have another dead ball. Non-contact foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. White. Total of 30-yard penalty. Be 1st and 40.
Two penalties against Miami on the play. and the officials sending a message to Miami of their own.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. Of course, Miami's got that reputation. They want to keep this game under control. The Hurricanes come out, try to set the tone. Emotionally, they're ready. Hey, if you're a Texas fan, don't be disillusioned by that first offensive series. The Longhorns have been slow starters all year. As a matter of fact, the coaches joke that they're going to give their halftime speech in the pregame from now on in.
Today's officiating crew, as you see, it's 1st and 40 for Miami. Today's crew is from the SEC. Lamar Thomas on the catch at the 20. And out to the 33-yard line. Brian Jones on the tackle after a gain of 14. Erickson completes pass number 1. The two-year starter who led them to the championship a year ago. The fullback Steve McGuire will go with 3 receivers, Randall Thrill-Hill and Lamar Thomas, along with Wesley Carroll, who he walked down the ramp with.
Interesting first play against that man defense as you look at the tight end, Chudzinski, and he could be a factor today, but they ran underneath and tried to rub the guys off one-on-one.
Everyone out of the backfield, 2nd and 26. Erickson again, and there's Carroll at the 41. Coverage by Stanley Richard. So it'll be 3rd and 18 coming up for Miami. Carroll caught 61 passes this year for almost 1,000 yards. Scored the go-ahead touchdown last year on New Year's Day in the Sugar Bowl against Alabama. Kevin Williams has come in as a receiver on 3rd and 18. Going long for Kevin Williams. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Double coverage on Williams by Lance Gunn and Grady Cavness. Miami will get another 3rd down play. It'll be 3rd and 13 after the offside penalty against the Longhorns. Again, this is an SEC crew.
Defensive team lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty.
Jimmy Harper, the referee, explaining. Word from the Texas bench is that Samuels on that kickoff return, where he was really hammered, obviously took a blow to the head, but that's what they're sending up to us, and they expect he will return to the game. 3rd and 13 with trips to the right. Spencer, 1st down Miami at the Texas 29. Darrell Spencer with a gain of 24.
Well-designed play this time. What Miami's doing early is they're taking their wide receivers, crossing them all the way across the field. This way, they think they can get that easy leverage early on the secondary, and you saw that Richard got caught late. Watch the pass protection up front from Cristobal, Handy, Jones. There's Searcy. Look at McGuire, number 30. He comes up and just knocks him right out of the picture. That was Shane Drannetti hit. Great blocking, great execution on a crossing pattern.
Remember, it was 1st and 40, and Miami gets the 1st down. Now they run it with McGuire, and he gains about 2. Tackled by James Patton.
Jim, Texas wants to force Erickson to either throw earlier than he wants to with pressure or make him hold it longer than he wants to because of good coverage. Take him out of his rhythm, but so far Erickson's had his time, been able to find his receivers.
Leonard Conley comes out of the backfield now in motion on 2nd and 9. Randy Bethel in at tight end. Erickson has a man open. Did it get there on one hop?
He got it.
A reception by Wesley Carroll at the 10 and a gain of 17.
I don't know if it was the pregame hype or what, but right now Texas is in a man, but they're playing soft. They aren't coming up, they aren't covering. It's almost a catch, read, and react type thing. You see the All-American Richard there, 18, saying no catch. He's 10 yards behind the receiver. He's got the lock on him. Look at the protection. Look at the blocking. Oh, Leon Searcy, 73. He just comes up and throws Giles to the ground. Erickson says, that's right, we're moving. So far, it's been all Miami.
Erickson 4 for 4 for 64 yards. As their march continues, first down near the 10. Conley gets away from the loss and back to the line of scrimmage. Leonard Conley had been suspended from the team for the last 2 games of the regular season, but now returns. He's the number 3 all-time rusher at Miami behind Otis Anderson and Alonzo Highsmith. Now, you talked about that offensive line. Darren Handy.
Well, he used to be a guard. He has excellent feet. He's 278 pounds, both sides of him. Jones and Cristobal. Cristobal is probably the strongest guy on that line. And there's Old Sullivan, the most experienced lineman. And we've already seen Searcy throw Giles to the ground.
Watch Lamar Thomas at the bottom of your screen. They like to throw it high for him. He has great jumping ability. Second down and 10. They're going the right side instead, and the ball was deflected. Intended for Spencer.
You know what happened? I think he was looking into the corner with the timing pattern for Randall Hill way up at the top, saw that he was covered, and all of a sudden tried to pull it down. He was indecisive and pulled the string on it, trying to get it to Spencer.
Spencer's from Merritt Island, Florida. Made the first down catch earlier in this drive. So now it's 3rd and 10 for the Canes. Here's the pass play we talked about. Incomplete. There is a flag down. That was actually intended for Leonard Conley with Cavness on the coverage, but we've got another penalty marker.
Illegal motion, offense.
So David McWilliams' defense able to come up with some plays in the scoring zone to prevent Miami from getting in the end zone. They'll bring out Carlos Huerta for a field goal attempt. Over 80% this year, Huerta. He's a great one. This is 28 yards away. And a kick is good. Miami drives on his first possession and nets a field goal from Carlos Huerta.
Interesting contrast before the game. People have been talking about Miami and their behavior all week. Miami nice. Well, right before the game, we saw a little of that feistiness, a little of that confidence, a little of that arrogance from Miami as they traded barbs with some of the fans coming out. You get a sense that Miami was feeling they had cabin fever all week long, and this is a time they're going to let it out. They seem ready, Jim Nance.
That's right, Doc, and that was a question we all had this week. Would they be emotionally ready, or would they come out and play like they did against San Diego State emotionally? Give the Aztecs credit. They gave them a great game, and a fall down by Willie Mack Garza all the way back at the 2. Now, he was in to replace Chris Samuels, who was injured on the opening kickoff.
Garza has not returned a kickoff all year. He's only had 1 punt return. That was for 5 yards. Down on the field prior to the game, the field is wet. It's slick. It's an excellent turf. It's in pretty good shape, but it's been frozen most of this week. It's wet right now, and obviously it's slick, and Garza goes down. Inexperienced Garza, I should say, too.
Samuels has come back in for the Longhorns. He's on a wing to the left on first down from the 3. Russell Maryland on top of that pile.
Jim, I'm going to tell you right now, Texas cannot outrun Miami defense sideline to sideline. The Longhorns have to go straight ahead and look for cutback lanes against that aggressive overrunning defense. They've got to get the blocks up front and go.
Roland Smith starts in one corner. Robert Bailey with some tremendous plays already is at the other side. The safeties are Darrell Williams and Charles Farms, a junior from Houston. Samuels making an adjustment on the freshman Hadnot's chin strap. Second down and 10 out of the end zone. Gardaire's first pass intended for Walker.
Johnny Walker's their leading receiver. He wasn't looking for that one, wasn't expecting the ball that quickly. But Gardaire had backside pressure and had to unload it faster than he wanted to. You know what's ironic about Johnny Walker? He's their leading receiver, 40 receptions, but has yet to catch a touchdown pass.
He's wide to the left on 3rd and 10. They run it with Hadnot. And doubled up by Barrow and Crum. Barrow and Crum, a pair of the linebackers, forced Texas to punt. There's a man closing his career today, a sparkling career for Maurice Crum. Gardaire and company head to the sidelines, still looking for their first down. Alex Waits, his first punt traveled only 29 yards. Kevin Williams back at the 45. He may have fumbled on the back end of that.
He did. They're going to say they whistled it down. They're going to give it to Miami, but I'm not sure. Outstanding hit, Jim, on the backside by Bo Robinson.
You see Alex Waits, the punter, is in there as well. When the ball was free, but watch now, Kevin Williams, did he fumble? He was fumbling on the way down.
Absolutely, that's a fumble. Robinson hit him from the backside. His left hand knocked the ball loose. Should have been a fumble. There is no instant replay in college football. If there was, this play would be overruled.
It's a tremendous break for Miami, and the Hurricanes are set up now in Texas territory at the Longhorn 48. 3-0 Miami, midway, first quarter.
The new generation of Oldsmobile. Still wondering?
This is the new generation of Olds.
Their chances look slim, but they knocked off the Niners, and now they're in the playoffs. The Never Say Die Saints battle the NFC Central Champion Bears Sunday.
The city of Dallas, unlike its neighbor to the south, Houston, where they're accustomed to seeing hurricanes every now and then. Up this way, it's usually tornadoes instead of hurricanes, but a whirlwind start for Miami. Now let's set Texas defensively. Shane Dronette and Oscar Giles, he's an All-Southwest Conference player. Both of them are. Middle linebacker Brian Jones, very active. Boone Powell, Anthony Curl. And you like this secondary, don't you, Timmy?
I do, because they're gutsy. They can get beaten on a play. They come right back. They'll talk to you, and they don't let it bother them. Stanley Richards, as good as they come, he'll be a first-round draft pick in the National Football League. This is the defense led by its seniors, Giles, Jones, and Richards.
1st and 10, Miami. McGuire with a hole. And picks up another first at the 37 of Texas. Leon Searcy with a lead block and a gain of 11.
See, Texas is going through a learning experience right now. They've had teams run on them successfully. Texas A&M ran on them and ran successfully, but that was more of an option type thing. Miami comes in, and this is really the first team that Texas has played against that can run and pass as well as each other. They're very effective, very balanced.
Randy Bethel alternating with Chudzinski at tight end. On 1st and 10, play action. Erickson with great time. Whoa! Almost intercepted. It was the Sheriff. As Gunn looks on. Stanley Richard, the Sheriff, almost had a quick 6.
Should have had it. Did everything right. Stayed in the hip pocket, read Erickson, then broke on the football. Should have had the pick right there. And he was looking at the end zone, reading the headlines instead of tucking the football away. But he's as good as you find. We just talked about him. He was moved to free safety from cornerback, and he is a better free safety than he was a corner.
2nd down and 10 from the Texas 37. McGuire, no gain. Tommy Jeter and Brian Jones forcing Miami to a 3rd and 10 situation.
thing about Texas up front, take a guy like Tommy Jeter, who just made that play. He's 6'5", 263, and I tell you that as a point of reference because he is extremely quick. He's as quick as any linebacker you'll see.
3 receivers to the right on 3rd and 10. Conley in the backfield as the single back. Erickson to Bethel. Makes the catch, but way short of the first. Boone Powell with a good tackle. And they've already brought out Carlos Huerta. Watch the tackle by Powell.
They take three receivers out there, try to stretch the defense, and then they try to lock on and get an isolation on the linebacker. They do that with Powell, but Powell's an overachiever. He is the best linebacker cover guy Texas has. Did an outstanding job that time and saved the first.
This is a 50-yard attempt for Huerta. He's made a 52-yarder this year. Joe Moore on the hold. Kick, is it long enough? Yes, and it's good.
Down on the field prior to the game, Huerta made 4 out of 4 from 53 yards. Looked at his coach and said, that's enough. I'm on, coach. I've got a strong leg today. He turned around and he walked off. Comes on, he's got 2 already in this game.
An 87-yard pass from halfback Gershwades to Ernie Davis. That gave Syracuse the edge. They would maintain throughout the day. Texas got on the board in the 3rd quarter when Bobby Lackey hit Jack Collins for a 69-yard touchdown. But it was not enough as Syracuse won the championship here in the Cotton Bowl, and halfback Ernie Davis leading them to victory in the national title. It was orange against orange on that day, just like today. Huerta's 50-yard field goal ties the Cotton Bowl record for longest field goal, tying Greg Gant of Alabama, 1973.
His longest is 52 yards. He's had 3 over 50.
Garza again having trouble on the return. He'll down it for a touchback. He had slipped on the last kick back at the 3.
You know what's ironic, though? This will be the best field position even after the muff for Texas all day. They've had poor field position the first 2 drives, started on their own 14 and their own 3. So this muff will bring it out to the 20.
Texas still looking for its first down. They'll send Samuels into a slot formation to the right. Walker wide to the right. Cash to the left. Now everyone out of the backfield. Gardere felt the heat from Darren Smith first. Score it as a sack back at the 15.
You have to wonder what it is about a team that causes them to be such slow starters. I mean, this has been the trend throughout the entire season. Gardere starts slowly every single game. They started calling him Peter the Late.
He had some late heroics along the way, including one right here in the Cotton Bowl this season against Oklahoma. 4th down touchdown pass to beat the Sooners. 2nd and 15. Another sack. Russell, Maryland.
Boy, there's your All-American. There's your Outland Trophy winner. Played with Bone Spurs this year. Look at him. Comes to a double team, splits the double team, and then with one arm, his left arm, he takes Gardere down. His 12th sack of the year. He's from Chicago. His name is Maryland. He plays in Miami. Don't be confused by it, though. Often seems he can be in all places at once.
3rd down, 24. Stephen Clarkin is a tight end for Texas. Texas running it with Hadnot, and they swarm him near the 10. This has been a fierce defensive effort by Miami to start this game in the opening quarter.
Remember now, this series started on the 20. After the nice run by Hadnot there, he only gets it back out to the 10. Watch Hadnot. All right, there's a big hole, but look, he stops. instead of making his cut, and Barrow just comes up. But now here's the strength of Hadnot. He carries 6 guys for another 3 yards. 28-inch thighs on that guy.
Good play by Barrow of Miami. Now waits with a spiral punt, not very deep. Bouncing around favorably for Texas. And down it at the 46 of Miami. That's a 43-yard punt. The NFL playoffs begin this weekend. And on Sunday, we'll have the Saints against the Bears, 3:30 Eastern time. New Orleans traveling to Soldier Field. Gardere on headsets, I'm sure, communicating with Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator for the Longhorns. Leonard Conley is the single back, 3 receivers to the left for Miami. Play action, bootleg. Carroll's open and has it out of bounds at the Texas 36. Let's go down to our man John Dockery. Doc?
You know, Jim, you've been talking about the 4-3 defense that Texas plays, middle linebacker, man-to-man defense, only rushing sometimes 1 linebacker, and I think that McWilliams also feels that he was over-talking to his defensive back and linebackers, and I don't think they can get to a sophisticated offense like Miami, which such fine pass blocking with only their front 4. I think they're going to have to come with an extra linebacker, maybe 2 linebackers. McWilliams agrees with me.
Handoff McGuire and a loss of a yard. A good defensive play by Shane Dronette, sophomore from Orange, Texas.
Yeah, he's an All-American type guy, too, 6'6", 258. You know, I think Doc is absolutely right. Texas does not blitz as much as people think they do because they do get so much of a push that we talked about from the front 4. They don't need the linebackers. But the Longhorns have to blitz more if they get in trouble, and right now they're in trouble. They're not getting enough pressure on Erickson. He's 6 for 9, 86 yards. You cannot allow him to have the hot hand.
Spencer has come back in as a receiver. He's in a slot to the left. Conley in motion. 2nd down, 11 to go.
Boy, Brian Jones has to maintain his composure. They're starting to wolf with him a little bit, talk to him, and he's jumping right in there. You don't want to throw any punches and be stupid and get thrown out of a football game. Watch number 60 now. He reads the play. Erickson goes down. Now watch Jones. Here's the push. Now he comes right back, throws the left hand there on Sullivan. He can't do that. He's got to maintain his composure. He wants to stay in the game.
The trip by Erickson cost him 5 yards, so it's 3rd down, 16 to go. One on the down clock, and Erickson calls the time. With 1 second on the down clock, Erickson looks across the line, wants to change the play, and calls the timeout. 2 possessions for Miami, 2 field goals, but they'll face 3rd and 16 when we return. "48-year-old David McWilliams. He grew up about 50 miles from here, south of the Cotton Bowl in Cleburne, Texas, taking the Longhorns to their 2nd bowl in his 4 years. His first season, they journeyed to Houston in the Bluebonnet Bowl and won a game against Pittsburgh, that bowl game that no longer exists. 3rd down, 16 to go for Miami. Carroll shakes free and out of bounds near the 1st. There is a flag in the pile.
Boy, Carroll just broke the handcuffs of the sheriff that time. Richard had him all locked up, and he just broke it away. Miami has had a lot of success, Jim, running crossing patterns. When they do that, they're actually rubbing off the defender.
What was that? The sheriff didn't put the handcuffs on him?
We have a dead ball. after the play is over, clipping White team, be 4th down, 16.
You can watch him, Jim. He just didn't wrap up. And Carroll broke loose. You've got to wrap. You've got to control your wrist, make sure the guy doesn't come, and twist him down. Can't let a guy like Carroll break the tackle on you. Carroll's only 185 pounds.
Carroll came up a yard short of the first, and then there was a clip on the back end of it.
Right here.
Lamar Thomas.
Right there, no question about it.
Claude Jones, so they'll back him up 15, 4th and 16. Our first look at Paul Snyder.
Not only was it a clip, it was late.
Willie McGarza, standing back for Texas, will let it bounce around into the end zone, a touchback. Let's go back down to the Dockster.
Jim, if you're a football fan, you recognize this man, 1977 Heisman Trophy winner Earl Campbell. Earl, welcome. They got a pretty good running back here for Texas now. What about Butch Hadnot? They're comparing him to you.
Well, I think Butch got a lot of ability. I think someday he'll have a shot at winning the Heisman Trophy as well. I think he's an exceptional athlete. You know, to be a freshman and just come in and start and do what he's done, I think it's been great.
Well, congratulations, Earl. We're going to go back after this play. Hold on a second.
Hadnot is the single back, the man we're talking about. He gets the carry. And only a 1-yard gain. Hit first by Darrell Williams. Maryland in there as well. And let's go back to Doc.
What about this team, Earl? You must be proud of them returning to resurgence of Texas football the way it used to be.
Oh, sure. I think Coach McWilliams and his staff has done a great job, and I also think the players have. I mean, they came a long ways, and I think that speaks a lot for him and his staff.
True Texas legend, and in part of the athletic staff here at Texas, an assistant to the athletic director. Thank you, Earl.
Thank you, and hello to my friend LaQuinda.
All right, Earl Campbell actually helped recruit Hadnot.
2nd down and 9. Play action. Gardere goes down and fumbles. Maryland paused it. Recovered inside the 10 by Miami. He already had 1 sack. Now give him a second.
Watch this, Jim. Again, it's Russell Maryland, the Outland Trophy winner. Watch him break. They try to set a double team. One guy runs out, and he just comes through and strips him. He's big, he's strong, shunned the NFL last year, wanted to stay, wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, came into Miami over 300 pounds. He worked, nobody really gave him a chance, and all of a sudden he's down to 270, and he turns into an All-American. That's a fantastic play, his 3rd big play of this ball game.
Tim, there's a penalty after the recovery by Maurice Crum of Miami. They're penalizing Miami for excessive celebration.
Dancing in the end zone, 15-yard penalty on the right.
That'll drive Erickson nuts.
We've seen a personal foul, a clipping, and 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Miami in the 1st quarter.
Dennis Erickson says one of the things he is most proud about is that this team has changed. It doesn't taunt anymore.
Well, some talking and celebrating costing him here. It's 1st and goal from the 23. Carroll out of bounds near the 15. Tonringo bumped him out. There's another flag down as some pushing going on the field between Searcy and Dronette of Texas.
See, emotions get in the way of concentration, and right now both teams have to maintain that composure. It's costing Miami. If this is against the Hurricanes, look out.
Personal foul. Orange team be an automatic 1st down.
That is a huge benefit for Miami because they had a 1st and goal to go situation all the way back starting from the 23. Now they'll get the 1st down. Let's see where they spot it.
Well, see, they were hit first. Now Texas is hurt. They both have to maintain their composure.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12.
Boy, Miami is running some serious rub-offs, and that is legal. They aren't even making contact, but they're running crossing patterns and trying to take the defensive back, who's man for man, off of the receiver.
1st and 10 for Miami. Incomplete. Intended for Conley. And Brian Jones put a major hit on him.
LC is back. He was suspended for 2 games. Now, Conley's only 170 pounds, and he's being covered by a linebacker, Jones, who's 238. But somehow, Jones runs with him and separates him from the football.
Wearing the number 60 at Texas, and that is something special if you're a Longhorn linebacker. Started, of course, the legend did, of that number with Tommy Novus. 2nd down, 10. Alex Johnson has come in for Miami. Erickson's pass caught by Carroll. Nice move. Touchdown, Miami. With the score now 12-0, Miami's going to go for 2. 2 field goals and a touchdown. Now looking for a 2. 11 seconds left in the 1st quarter. A 12-yard strike. Erickson to Carroll, who made the swift move, very similar to one we saw yesterday by Courtney Hawkins of Michigan State for a touchdown in the Hancock Bowl. Miami has burned its 2nd timeout, leaving them with 1 here in the opening half.
Watch the 3rd receiver here from the bottom of the screen. He's got the most field to work with, so he is extremely dangerous. Locked on a safety. Now watch his moves. 1 to the inside, back out again. Makes the catch and then spin move and pirouettes into the end zone. He was working on Todd Ringo, number 43. It is a high-risk, high-reward defense. Anytime you're locked on one-on-one, man for man, you don't have help. So the safety this time, which is Ringo, is all by himself out here. And when Carroll spin moves to the inside, the help, the pursuit that they were supposed to get from Lance Gunn, 16 there, never came. Touchdown, Miami.
Let's go back down to Doc.
You know, there's an interesting dynamic along the sidelines here on the Miami side. The officials have been over talking to the coaches, telling the Miami players to get back. And Dennis Erickson, after chatting with him for a few minutes, finally said, hey, forget about it. Drop dead. We're going to win anyhow. A sense that Miami feels maybe everybody here is against them. They're going to use that for their own benefit, and they are arrogant about what they can do here this afternoon in the Cotton Bowl.
So Miami rebelling, and throw out Miami nice for the present time. Going for 2. Shannon Crowell has come in along with Alex Johnson in the backfield. Erickson rolling. Intercepted. No. Dropped by Barry, but it doesn't matter. Shane Trondette was putting pressure on Erickson, and Mark Barry with the coverage and near interception. So it stays Miami 12, Texas nothing. Craig Erickson, the MVP last year in their New Year's Day game in the Sugar Bowl, he threw for 3 touchdowns against Alabama and ended the week not only with a championship ring, but a picture of himself on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Coming back with another New Year's Day hot start. Miami with 11 regular season games. And this now their 12th game of the season. They have scored first in all 12 of their games this season. but Texas has been unflappable. They have come from behind to win on 7 occasions. 7 of their 10 wins, Texas came from behind to win it.
That's why they're so relaxed right now. They're used to being in this situation.
Kick bouncing over the head of Samuels, who returned to the kick return team, and he downs it for a touchback. The Cotton Bowl, this storied stadium surrounded by the Texas State Fairgrounds. Chilly weather, but clear skies. All you have to do is think back to Notre Dame and Houston in 1979, and you're thankful for any kind of day better than that. Samuels running for a 1-yard gain. Michael Barrow making the tackle to close the first quarter. A quarter where we saw Miami living in the Texas end of the field. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Miami 12, Texas nothing. We'll return to the Cotton Bowl after this message and the word from your local station.
Welcome back to the Mobile Cotton Bowl, where Miami is leading Texas by the score of 12-0. And just before we get going here for the second quarter, let's bring you up to date on some scores from other bowl games around the country. We begin out at the Citrus Bowl, where Georgia Tech is leading Nebraska. Out at the Hall of Fame Bowl, another ACC team, Clemson, on top of Illinois. And in the Gator Bowl, it's Michigan over Ole Miss by a score of 35-3. And now let's send it back upstairs to Jim Nance.
Thank you, Andrea. All decisive leads at this point on New Year's Day. We start the second quarter, and Texas facing 2nd and 9 from its 21. Samuels and Hadnot split behind Gardere. Williams chasing him. Great escapability by Gardere. But still goes down at the 17 for a loss. There is a flag back near the 10.
And it's probably going to be on the 2 All-Americans, Stan Thomas, the tackle, working against Russell Maryland. Jim Gardere now is 0 for 1 and has been sacked 3 times. It is going to be against Thomas.
Against Texas.
Here we go, baby! Oh, Lord!
Probably refuse
Holding.
it.
Offensive team, penalty is declined.
Come on, Dwayne! Come on, Chuck!
Talking to the left side of that line, Dwayne Miller and Chuck Johnson. That is now the 4th sack by the Miami defense. 3rd and 14 for Texas. Maryland. Oh, boy.
Make it 5.
I'll tell you, Timmy, you come from near the Baltimore area, and you're very familiar with Maryland crab cakes. This is what you call a Maryland pancake. Inside of the 10, Gardere is jolted.
Or if you want to get more graphic, this is a butt buster right here. Gardere's going to feel that one for a while. Not only the hit, but then when he takes him to the ground, just pile drives him. How about this? Rushing yards now for Texas, -4. Passing, 0.
Waits out of the end zone. Low kick bouncing at midfield. Williams picks it up and stumbles to the 39. 52-yard punt, 5-yard return. What a first half by Russell Maryland. He's had 3 sacks in the first half, caused a fumble. Summarize the game total offense, Texas now in negative figures. Miami's defense totaling 5 sacks, the touchdown, a pass to Wesley Carroll.
And there's one more statistic that's not on there. Texas has already had a turnover.
Keep it up, defense.
big hit. Oscar Giles knocking down Steve McGuire in the backfield. Good play by the very personable Oscar Giles.
Watch number 95 near the top of the screen. Just blows by his block right there. And Sullivan's not going to be proud of that one.
He made Palacios proud of that one.
But the thing about Oscar Giles is he's seeing Maryland make all the plays. Now he wants to get some because he was an Outley Trophy candidate that was beaten out by Maryland, who won it.
2nd and 12.
Here he comes again.
Wide open was Carroll. He was wide open at the 35, but was overthrown.
Jim, Stanley Richard right there, number 18, told us he was going to have the best game of his career. He's the leader of this defensive secondary, but he is beaten badly here by his own man. Now, you could see him collide as they crossed. They've been running the crossing patterns. They've been trying to put a man in the face of the safety, which gets his attention, and then they're rubbing off the other guy. They're actually bumping into each other. They're running defensive backs into each other.
3rd down, 12 to go for Miami. Trips to the right. Incomplete, intended for Spencer.
The 5th straight 3rd and more than 10 that Miami has had to go against. They've been in 3rd and long all afternoon.
Paul Snyder averages only 36 yards a punt. Samuels back for the return. Fair catch called, made by Samuels at the Texas 36. 28 yards on the punt. There is another flag on the field.
Almost every play at the end of it has a couple of guys wolfing at each other, talking to each other, pushing and shoving.
5 yards, violation of the 2-yard buffer zone, 5-yard penalty.
And he'll push the football forward to the 41. Texas at last gets good starting field position with 12 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Texas's storybook season started with the seniors, and the man who really ignited the charge was backup tight end Stephen Clark. He explains.
We just decided that after 5 years of sitting here watching senior class after senior class leave without victories, leave on a losing note, that it just kind of got tiring. We knew that we had the talent here. I knew we had the talent here, and I just decided that, someone had to step forward and make that commitment. And I just, for some reason, decided that, I should do it.
Well, Jim, he's a great student. And last year when he was hurt, he sat in the stands during the entire season. He said he was listening to fans, even professors, fellow classmates, and they were belittling the team and the way they played. He became the mediator. He went in to coach. He's the guy in charge of getting them all up for 6 o'clock workouts during the spring and fall.
Their best starting position by 21 yards. And the first completion by Gardere. It goes to Samuels out to the 48-yard line.
Must have been a mix-up in time. The game started at 12:30. I think Texas just thought it started a couple minutes ago.
2nd down for the Horns. Call it 3. Hadnot collared by Darren Smith. Short of the first by about a yard. Darren Smith on his socks has the initials RS. And for his father, who was killed 18 years ago, he was a member of the Police Benevolence Society, and volunteering at a neighborhood festival, a motorist came by and shot him unexplainably. He remembers his father every game with his initials on his uniform. Third down play. First down for Texas. Butch Hadnot on the carry, and the Longhorns have their very first down of the game with 11 minutes to go in the first half.
Another flag down, too.
Dead ball after play's over. Personal foul. Defensive team.
That'll put the football, Tim, down to the 33-yard line. It's now 3 personal fouls and 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Miami.
Well, this one went against Anthony Hamlet. He locked up with Stan Thomas, drove him all the way up near midfield, and Thomas looked at the official and said, you know, this has got to stop, and they threw the flag.
Keith Cash split wide to the right. And the officials from the Southeastern Conference looked to the sidelines. The chains were not properly set. Tech still with a 2-touchdown advantage. Nebraska on the board. Gardere came out of Lee High School in Houston. 3rd all-time in the state of Texas in passing yardage. Hadnot got room to the 19-yard line.
For a big guy, makes a great cutback. The freshman here, watch him now once he breaks through. Here's the cutback. We told you run straight ahead until you find the cutback lanes against an over-aggressive, over-pursuing defense. Hadnot does that, sets up his block, and makes a gain of 14 out of it. Now 8 carries, 37 yards.
Texas showing some fight. First down from the 19, lined up in the eye. Handoff, Samuels. Tackled at the 11 by Crum and Curry.
Texas has 4 backs that average over 4.5 yards per carry, so they spread the wealth. But they're just now starting to get it in gear. Gardere has to hit some more passes to open up the running lanes even more.
Second down for Texas, 2nd and 3. The flag is down. Hadnot carries near the 10. Wrapped up by Michael Barrow. Offside penalty against Miami. That'll give Texas a 1st and goal to go.
Jim, it'll also move them inside the 10-yard line. And once you get inside the 10, here's what you look for. Number 19, Kerry Cash. They like to go to him with the alley-oop play. They'll try to lock him on a shorter defensive back, and they'll use his 6'4" height on the alley-oop.
First and goal from the 7. Crowd on its feet. The pitch to Samuels. So the flag on the field. Samuels is belted near the 5 by Darrell Williams and Charles Barnes.
And another flag comes in late. And again, this one hits right between the 5 and the 1 on Stan Thomas of Texas. Flag day in Dallas.
We thought the dominant color on the field was orange, but it's yellow. In fact,
you know what happens too when you throw this many flags, have this many penalties, it takes both teams out of a rhythm.
We've got an offsetting foul. Offside defense, holding, offense, first down.
Replay of the down, 1st and goal from the 7. Let's see if they go to their money player, Cash.
If I'm on defense, I'm thinking Cash right now for the payoff.
Hadnot. A lot of movement, but no gain. Maurice Crum came in on him. Hadnot had some cousins that starred in the Southwest Conference ahead of him. Bubba Bean from Texas A&M. He was a good running back for the Aggies. And James Hadnot from Texas Tech, who had an outstanding career. Score it is a loss of a yard. 2nd and goal for Texas from the 8. Shane Curry was sack number 6.
Boy, and I'm going to tell you something. Keith Cash was wide open in the end zone. Nobody within 12 yards of him. Watch this. Now, the backside pressure, of course, takes Gardere out of the play. But I want you to watch the left hand of your screen way back in the end zone by himself was Cash. See, everybody locked on Kerry Cash, number 19. Keith Cash was behind him by 12 yards, wide open.
Texas, 3rd and goal to go from the 12. Gardere almost intercepted by Bailey, who likely would have run it back 97 yards for a touchdown.
This is a defensive back's dream. Pick it off at the 1 and take it the distance. There's nobody else there. Nobody's going to catch him. And he just dropped it, hit off his chest plate.
Bailey with some big plays. Michael Pollock in to attempt a field goal and try to get Texas on the board. 29-yard attempt. Kick is good. After 1st and goal at the 7, the Horns settle for a field goal to move within 9.
The ball on the goal, on the scoreboard, that is, with a kick by Michael Pollard. And you've heard the expression, success is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. Well, Michael Pollard is exactly that. Take a look at this. Didn't play most of his career. Now he has a record 21 field goals for the University of Texas this season. So sometimes sticking with it does pay off, as in the case of Michael Pollard. Jim?
You know, Doc, when the rest of his teammates were in spring ball, he was over at American University in Vienna studying abroad. No idea that he would come on and be the All-Southwest Conference kicker and set the Texas record for field goals in a season.
A walk-on.
Pollock's kick bounces to Williams at the 8. Williams to the 20. Williams to the 30. Across the 40. And to the 47 for Kevin Williams, a freshman from right here in Dallas, playing for the Hurricanes. Next Saturday on CBS Sports, basketball action. Women's NCAA doubleheader from Iowa City. Big Ten versus SEC. Purdue and Auburn in game 1, followed by Georgia and Iowa.
Boy, Joe Ciampi's Auburn Lady Tigers seem to be in the hunt every single year in that Final Four. Again, he's ranked number 3.
Alex Johnson is the single back for Miami. Here comes Texas. And that pass was thrown at Darren Handy to center, and there are flags down. Obviously, Handy not an eligible receiver. Bo Robinson put it.
Intentional grounding. No eligible receiver in the area. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down.
You're right. You started to say Bo Robinson because it was a late flag. I don't think the official realized what was happening until Robinson explained to him. Said, hey, there's not a receiver around. The only guy there is Darren Handy. Watch this. Little play action. And there's nobody on that side except Texas folks. So Erickson just unloads it in the direction of 66. He can't catch the ball. He's not eligible. And then Robinson right away becomes the official and says he can't do that. Should be a flag, and they dropped it.
It's a loss of 17. Back him up from where he threw it. Second down, 27 to go. Out of the backfield to Johnson. Spinning around to the 32. Anthony Curl on the tackle. Miami's over 100 yards now. We've played a quarter and a half. Over 100 yards in penalties. And that sets a Cotton Bowl record for most penalty yards by a team. 55th year of this bowl. And they've broken the record in a quarter and a half.
Also broke the time record. You're right. They did it so fast.
Third down, 23 to go. Erickson to Carroll, and he falls short of the first. Slipped at the Texas 46, about 2 yards shy.
That play's amazing to me for two reasons. Number one, there were no flags thrown. Number two, it's the 6th straight time they've had to go 10 yards or more to get a first. They needed 22 and didn't get it.
Samuels on the return for Texas, standing at the 10, waiting for Paul Snyder's punt. He'll let it go into the end zone, a touchback. 46-yard punt. And the Horns will begin from their 20. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Miami in front.
Basketball. 4th-ranked Purdue battles 3rd-ranked Auburn. Number 6 Georgia takes on Iowa. Saturday.
The 1964 Cotton Bowl had a national championship riding on it. Texas #1 against #2 Navy. And Longhorn quarterback Duke Carlisle scrambled and passed the Longhorns to victory. Threw 2 touchdown passes to Phil Harris, 58 and 63 yards. David McWilliams, the Longhorn coach, was the co-captain of that Texas team. Late in the game, Navy quarterback Roger Staubach got his team on the board, but it was too late as Texas won its first national championship 28-6. It was 1964. Welcome to 1991. Jim Nance along with Tim Brandt, John Dockery on the sidelines, and our friends from the studio, Andrea Joyce and Mike Francesa, with us as well. And coming up at halftime, they'll have a look back at George Allen. First down for Texas. Cash. Keith Cash. His first catch. And a gain of about 8.
Going now, baby. Going down, score.
They do seem to have the confidence now mounting after a sluggish start.
Here's the guy that's been hurting him right here, Russell Maryland. But watch, as he comes up, they're going to use more than one guy on him. They say, hey, we've got to stop 67 right now. So they double team him, hold him out. Now, Sonny Lubbock, Miami's defensive coordinator, felt strongly that the Hurricanes could slow Texas' running game. But what concerned him was the pass. Not that Gardere's a great passer, but the pass has hurt Miami all year.
Second down for Texas. Walker dropped for a loss by Michael Barrow, and Darren Smith will set up 3rd and 6.
Defensive speed, we've talked about it several times in the ball game. There is no way that Texas can outrun Miami's defense sideline to sideline. That's what they're trying to do here with Walker, and it's just not going to happen. The Miami linebackers can outrun the Texas backs. Smith, Barrow, and Crum are all extremely quick for linebackers.
3rd down 5 for Texas. Gardere with time this time, but he's picked off by Bailey at the 30. Bailey to the 25 and down at the 20. Tackled by Stephen Clark.
Talk about a guy that's had a terrific first half. Bailey made the hit on the opening kickoff and took Samuels out of the game. Gets a break here, but it's the old tip drill. The pressure again. I think Gardere throws it quicker than he really wants to. Sees the pressure. Now here's the tip. And here comes Bailey just playing free back there. Picks it off and then just takes it and looks for some blocking. But he's having a marvelous first half. Robert Bailey out of Miami, Florida.
5 tackles and an interception from the 21. With pressure, Erickson is sacked this time by Brian Jones. UCLA transfer Brian Jones coming in on Erickson, much like he did the entire game against David Klingler and that tremendous Texas blowout of Houston.
Look at the blitz, Jim. They weren't getting enough push out of their front 4. They bring Brian Jones 60, top of your screen. As soon as the ball was snapped, he came running, came free on the right side. They just outnumbered the Miami players on that side, and he makes the sack.
He said that Erickson reminds him of Klingler, right down to the jersey number. Second down, Erickson looking end zone for Carroll. Touchdown, Miami. Huerta out for the extra point. And as always, it's good. He's the all-time record holder in college football for consecutive point afters.
Boy,
what 142 straight.
What an outstanding read this time by Erickson. Not that he sees Carroll with one-on-one coverage out there, but that he picked up the blitz. Texas came right back with the same play, only this time from the left side. They brought Brian Jones, the linebacker, again. They picked it up. They read it. They went to the quick dump. They went down deep to Carroll, and there he is, wide open. No shot for the safety, the free safety, Stanley Richard, to get over and help the corner.
Carroll now has both of Miami's touchdowns. 7 receptions, over 100 yards in the first half.
High risk, high reward. You bring Jones one time to the right, it works. You bring him to the left time. Once burnt, twice learned. Went right to it, read it, picked it up, fired, touchdown.
To 3 Miami. Huerta's kick travels to Samuels at the 7. Good run back across the 30 to the 35. A run back of 27 yards. Jason Marucci on the special teams tackle.
Watch this right here. This is the man. He's got all this field to work with, and he's going to try to get out to the post, or the flag rather. Safety's late coming over. Now you can see at the right of your screen already the safety's behind, has no shot, and Carroll's already beaten his man. Richard, the safety, is already 15 yards away from him, and Carroll makes the catch across the line. It's too late.
Again they get to Gardere, but they may have grabbed him by the face mask. Shane Curry. As the flags are everywhere on the field. And it's going against Miami. Face masks.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15 yards, first down.
Brings the football to midfield.
I think Texas is a little bit overwhelmed right here. I mean, this has been total domination.
First down for the Horns from the 50. 3 receivers to the left. Another infraction. See this guy here, Rusty Medeiros? Medeiros, in a game against Texas Tech, had 5.5 sacks in one game. Russell Merrill and his teammates having that same kind of contest today. Let's go back down to John Dockery.
You know, it's amazing, Jim. They're doing it to Texas on defense without possibly their best linebacker. You see him suited up behind me. Number 1, Jesse Armstead. He was hurt a month and a half ago against Florida State. He is a Dallas native. He's in uniform because he hopes to maybe get into the game at the end of the game. Now back to you, Jim.
Off the option this time. They run the option with Gardere, and a gain of 13 yards. Got a good block from Dwayne Miller. Brings the football to the 43 of Miami.
Good changeup by Texas. They had been going straight ahead with the run and passing when they could. Haven't had much success with either. So this time they come down, they go vertical, they run the option and have a big play out of it.
Walker left, Cash in a slot left, 2nd and 3 for Texas. Hadnot, first down for the Longhorns to the 37. More penalties on the field. Get off the field, he says.
Dead ball, personal foul. After play is over, defensive team, first down.
I tell you what, Miami has wanted to change its image all season long. They have destroyed it in one half of football. First down for Texas. Hadnot met head-on at the 18 by Hurley Brown. Here's a guy coming back from injury, Tim. Hurley Brown.
Had knee surgery and missed 4 games. He's been the defensive leader up to that point, but really worked hard to get back into the lineup.
2nd down and 7. Gardere on the run, hits his target, Samuels. Samuels has a 1st and goal to go at the 9.
Outstanding rhythmic throw by Gardere that time. 3 steps, get it out into the flat right now. Make your decision, get it there, get it to Samuels, let him run with it.
2 minutes left in the 2nd quarter.
First time all afternoon that Gardere has thrown in rhythm.
He sends the tight end out wide to the right. Kerry Cash. They like to get into the jump ball situation with him. They're looking for it. There he is. No jump ball, but a bullet pass to the 5 and down to the 3. They shift the tight end, send him as a receiver, and there's Kerry Cash.
He holds the Longhorns record for receiving for tight ends. They try to isolate him all the time on the linebacker. Great size, tremendous hands, tough body, soft hands. He's the key to Texas. But right now, the Longhorns just have to bang this thing in.
2nd down, goal to go from the 3. Samuels. Nothing at all. Shane Curry on that line with the rest of Miami. Stack them up. Clock is running now. 45 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. What a boost. 6 points would be on this play for Texas right before the half. 3rd and goal. Play action. Incomplete. Darren Smith knocked it away from Kerry Cash.
Boy, that was solid coverage, too. He may have gotten away with the left hand on the back, but he made some great coverage. Watch this now. Just keep an eye on 45 to the right of your screen, all the way across. There's the left hand, the left hand. Now here comes the left hand again, pushing him, but the right hand reaches in front and knocks it away.
Hurley Brown and Robert Bailey putting on the pressure. There's Bailey knocking Gardere to the turf. Texas calls a timeout with 22 seconds left. 4th and goal from the 3. Offense still on the field.
Has the nation's 6th largest academic library, an astounding quantity of materials that is matched by its quality and diversity. From the latest scientific information to the earliest printed books, the university's library, a reflection of our civilization, a foundation for learning in the information age.
Texas is going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 3 on final 22 seconds of the first half. Same distance you would go for a 2-point attempt. And this year Texas was 2 of 3 on 2-point conversion tries. You like them going for it here, Tim?
I do. I think they're fun. The safe, everybody would say, well, the safe thing is get the points and go into the locker room with some momentum, knowing that you just scored. I think down 19-3, and if they don't score here, I think the deficit could be too much for this young Texas team to catch up, because thus far it has just been Miami dominating. They need this badly to change not only the momentum, but also to pull within striking distance of the Hurricanes. I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd load up right behind Boyd and Thomas, and then I'd look for Cash in the corner.
Cash is to the right. Kerry Cash. Keith Cash to the left.
There he is.
Goal. There he is. Cash out of bounds when he made the catch.
And he's knocked out again by Bailey. Boy, I'm telling you, Bailey showed up today with bad intentions, and that's good. Take another look. Now keep in mind, it's a judgment call by the official if he thinks he would have come back down inside. Bailey's already pushing him. I don't know. You talk about a judgment call, but I think he probably would have come down out of bounds. That was the official's decision. He said Bailey had nothing to do with it, and they called him out. No good.
$18 seconds left now. Connolly's in the backfield. Run it out here before the half.
I wonder if Erickson knew how close he was to that goal line. He took a step back, almost went into the end zone.
I was thinking the same thing. Don't want to down it for a safety. Miami 19-3 at the half. CBS Sports coverage of the Mobile Cotton Bowl continues after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the 55th Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic is sponsored by Hyundai, the full line of quality cars from Hyundai. Yes.
162 yards to just 52 by Texas. One of the big things in here, the turnovers for Texas. 2 turnovers. They've scored both times. Miami has, and that's been a major difference as well.
All right, just a moment ago, our John Dockery, working the sidelines, had a visit with David McWilliams of Texas.
Coach, what do you do to get back in the game? Do you blitz more on defense?
You know, I think we've done a pretty good job defensive there at in the second quarter. We just hadn't been able to block their line, you know, to get time for Gardere to throw the football. So I think we've got to do a better job on offense, controlling that line of scrimmage and get some offense going. We've had 2 big turnovers that have given them 2 touchdowns.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Miami will, in fact, get the football to start the third quarter.
Jim, I can tell you he's exactly right, McWilliams is, when he says we haven't been able to block him. You take Maryland, has 4 sacks. They haven't even slowed him down yet.
Michael Pollock's field goal, the only points for Texas thus far. Kevin Williams and Darrell Spencer of Miami await at the 5-yard line for the kick from Pollock. Devin Williams, freshman from Dallas, Texas, across the 20, across the 30, across the 40, in near midfield, finally brought down by Todd Ringo. And Ringo was all that was left for the Longhorn defense on that kick coverage.
Jim, at halftime, they were talking about the behavior of the Miami players being appalling. I'll tell you, it's stupid, but it's not appalling. They're playing with a lot of emotion. The penalties are unnecessary. But a lot of times when football players play with emotion, they're going to get into a few tangles, have a few words, and get a couple of late hits in.
Horace Copeland in as a receiver wide to the left. He's a speedster, one-on-one coverage for him. Here comes a blitz on Erickson, and he goes down for a 3-yard loss. Tommy Jeter, James Patton. Tech by 10 in the third.
Good day for the Atlantic Coast Conference. Georgia Tech, of course, believes firmly that it should win the national championship, although it's not Bobby Ross's style to get out and politic.
Second down for Miami, 2nd and 13. Intended for Williams, cutting across the middle.
You know, following up that Georgia Tech and Bobby Ross situation, Bobby Ross is not the kind of guy out of politics, but I find it humorous that Lou Holtz all year said, hey, we're not number one, we shouldn't be number one, told us here on the air after they had won a game that, hey, we're not number one, we're overrated as soon as the season ends, and now he's headed to the Orange Bowl. He says, hey, we're the best team in the nation, we deserve the national championship.
Third down, 13 for Miami. Oh, and they get to him. With help from Shane Dronette, 2 sacks on this series for the Longhorn defense.
That's right. If Jeter didn't get him, Dronette would have. If Dronette hadn't, Jones would have. All of them were there. The Sheriff came late, but this is a whole different defense than we saw in the first half.
Snyder to punt. With pressure, gets it away. Takes Samuels back to the 20. Unable to get away from that first wave. Marucci on the tackle,
and there's the first flag of the second half.
Didn't take long.
This one, I believe, will go against Texas.
Doing the run back, clipping, receiving team be 1st and 10.
You know, the officials don't want to throw flags, really shouldn't throw flags, takes both teams out of the rhythm, but if they feel a game is getting out of control, they'll throw them, and they'll throw them at the least, most minimal, most outrageous penalties you can find just to keep both teams on a leash, and I think that's what they're doing here.
First down play for Texas from its 9. Samuels driven down from the linebacker Michael Barrow. Samuels, for 2 years, was a backup to Eric Metcalf for Texas. He's a senior from San Antonio. They've got quite a number of players from San Antonio, including the Cash Twins and Johnny Walker.
Now, Samuels can do so much for this club. He's the return guy, runner, fine receiver, anything type guy.
Second down, 6. Gardere with Maryland after him. He gets away. He's got the first down, and Charles Farms takes him out at the 28.
Hey, I'd go over right now, and I'd shake Chris Samuels' hand. Gardere got around the corner because number 23 right there in the middle of your screen threw an outstanding block out by the hash marks. Watch this now. Gardere with the play action tries to roll right, but runs right into the outside contained pressure. So now he can feel Maryland coming quickly from behind. So he gets outside. Look at Samuels' block. That's the one that gets him the first down.
First down from the 28. On the delay, the give to Hadnot. And only a gain of about 2. John Dockery, you were hanging out near the locker rooms. What did Dennis Erickson say to his team at the half?
You know, Jim, the conversation centered around keeping their composure, not doing anything stupid. Yes, he wants to keep up their intensity level, but he said, hey, don't make stupid mistakes. Don't get stupid penalties. And by all means, keep your composure and keep it going. Keep after them. So he is concerned, as we've been talking about all game, about his team getting an awful lot of penalties.
He should be concerned, but you don't want to pull those reins too much.
Second down, 9. Gardere intercepted. Darren Smith to the 10. He'll high step it in for the Hurricane touchdown. To 3. That's the second interception of Gardere. Run back for a touchdown by Darren Smith. The second one is. And Huerta converts the extra point. It's the young man we told you. He carries the initials of his father, who was killed some 18 years ago, on his uniform, in his memory, stepping in front of Keith Cash, and running it back 35 yards for a Miami touchdown. It's been a game so far the Longhorns would like to forget.
Why is Coors Light the official beer of the 90s? Let's count the reasons.
The 55th annual Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas and the Goodyear Blimp America overhead from Houston, Texas, piloted today by Larry Chambers of Spring, Texas. Blimp made its first appearance at a sporting event at the Orange Bowl 31 years ago today. Huerta kicks it for Miami with a 26-3 lead. Walker from the 6. Ryan McNeil on the tackle at the 21, and downstairs we go to John Dockery.
Thank you, Jim. I'm with Alan E. Murray, the chairman, president, and CEO of Mobile Corporation. And Mr. Murray, we know that corporate sponsorships works for the Cotton Bowl. Does it work for Mobile as well?
Oh, absolutely, John. It's great. And of course, we have a great allegiance with this whole state, town, the conference, and what have you. It's going to get bigger and better. I'll tell you, it's going to be better next year.
And you want to give a message to somebody?
Well, next year it's going to be a better bowl because we're going to have all the young men and women in the Middle East back successfully.
Well, that's a nice thought. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you. Jim?
Happy New Year, John.
Yeah, let's hope so. First down, Texas, and Hadnot. Written down on the play by Michael Barrow.
Jim, the worst thing an announcer can do is say the game is over when there's still so much time left. Just sets himself up for failure when a team comes roaring back. But unless there is a dramatic change in Texas, this game is over because right now they aren't playing well enough to win.
Second down, 6 to go. There's a good run. Samuels picks up the first for the Longhorns at the 33. Jeff Boyd gave him a block.
Texas has tried everything. They've gone for the balance of the run, the pass. Gardere has not been successful. And it's not all Gardere's fault. He's just not getting any time. They have not been able to stop the Miami rush. They've got to. The offensive line has to improve.
On first down, off the option, they go to Hadnot on the pitch. Hadnot to the outside, into Miami territory and out of bounds near the 40.
a great call. Gardaire's been sacked 6 times. They haven't been able to run straight, so now they take him down and they option him on the corner. Watch the block by 23, Samuels again. Here comes Hadnot. Now the left of your screen, 23 Samuels going to come in. Just hold him up and let Hadnot stiff arm him off balance and turns it up on the outside corner.
26 yards, Timmy, and he now has 76 for the game. Samuels. Robert Bailey by the ankle.
You know what's amazing to me? We talked to the Miami coaches yesterday, and Sonny Lubick, Tommy Tuberville told us both that Robert Bailey was going to play a great game today. They said, just watch 23. Bailey's going to play a sensational game. Last thing they said to us, and he was outstanding.
He tackled number 23, Chris Samuels of Texas, on that play after a 4-yard gain. Now 2nd and 6. Gardair keeps for a 1-yard pickup. Curry in Maryland. Robert Bailey is senior from Miami. How about his fall semester schedule? He took physics, organic chemistry, conversational Spanish, ancient philosophy, and the philosophy of Kant.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can split the atoms and then come out and play with the big guys on the football field.
He wants to go to med school after graduating this spring. 3rd down, Gardair keeping. Near the first. No, he's got the first easily. 27-yard line. Anthony Hamlet hit him first. Michael Barrow helped out. 9-yard gain by Gardair.
Well, we said there had to be a dramatic change, so they've done that. They've shaken it up. They've gone to the option. Now they've got Miami a little bit on their heels. They've run straight ahead. They've optioned. They've used the pass, all 3. Now they've given an alternative, more for Miami defensive players to think about.
Walker and Cash to the left. Samuels on a wing to the left. Hadnot in the backfield. 1st down, looking to pass. Gardair toward the end zone, out of bounds for Walker. It's been a silent day thus far for Johnny Walker, Tim. Walker's also a baseball player. Played for Texas, signed a 6-figure contract with the Braves, did Johnny Walker. And he played in the minor leagues this past summer.
Drives a Mercedes-Benz as a reward for the money that he got to sign in baseball. Perfectly legal.
All-time single-season record at Texas last year, 55 catches. And he went to high school at San Antonio Holmes with the Cash twins. They've been together playing football for 8 years. Closing it out today. Now, Hadnot makes the catch, but it's a loss on the play. Burley Brown came up to make the play for Miami.
Along with Michael Barrow. You know, Miami has a philosophy that has been very successful. They take high school linebackers and make them defensive linemen. And they forget about recruiting tall, muscle-bound guys to play linebacker. Instead, they get strong, fast guys who love to run the field and hit. Speed is the key. And Barrow is one of those linebackers that can run as fast as any back on the field. Look at that.
3rd down and 13 for Texas. Sack time for Mark Caesar. Sack number 7. He's a sophomore from Newark, New Jersey, and he adds to the sack total. Mighty, it says. 54-yard field goal attempt for Michael Pollock. He had one of 56 yards this year. Successful against Baylor. Barefooted kick will not get there. Well short of the mark. And we're midway through the 3rd quarter. Hurricane winds have been swirling from the start. Bowl 1970, Ara Parseghian brought the 9th-ranked Fighting Irish into the Cotton Bowl against #1 Texas. Darrell Royal and the Longhorns went against Joe Theismann, who combined for almost 300 yards total offense, including this touchdown pass. That put Notre Dame ahead 17-14 late in the fourth quarter. But back came the Horns, and Billy Dale's 1-yard touchdown gave Texas the national championship. They had a rematch in 1971. Texas again ranked #1, Notre Dame ranked 6th. Arrow walked the field again with Darrell. Joe Theismann had another big day, throwing for a touchdown and running for 2 more scores. Neither team scored in the second half as Notre Dame handed Texas its first loss in 31 games. Notre Dame winning 24-11. From the 38, Miami, first down. McGuire driving it down to the 46 of the Longhorns. 17 yards for Steve McGuire, Miami's #1 rusher. Set a freshman rushing mark last year for Miami. Increased his totals this year. Wears the number 30, once worn by Alonzo Highsmith. Similar running style, and now Alonzo plays in this same town of Dallas for the Cowboys. Wire wrestled down by Shane Dronette.
Watch this. Here comes Dronette in here, number 81. He's 6'6", 258. Just watch the way his feet move, though. He's quick. Boy, that's a nice move. Just a little shutter shift and move and shift and move, and he got it.
2nd and 12. A loss of 2 after Dronette's play. Going downfield for Thrill Hill at the 20. To the 10. Touchdown, Miami. Come on back, Randall. Come on back.
Well, we talked about the older, more experienced Miami team. This borders on child abuse. Look at Thrill Hill back there. Well, I'll tell you something about him. Speed is a thrill for Hill. He runs a 4.340. Says his pass routes are a different expression of his talent. Here's a guy that dreams about running with cheetahs and being pulled over by a police car for speeding. He talks openly about dreams like that. Loves to run, loves the speed.
Hill's first catch. And it goes for a touchdown.
Safety's late coming over. You see him in the screen running out there to the left. It's just a go pattern. Hey, not only is he fast, he holds all of Miami's records for strength among the receivers. Tough body, soft hands. We told you that.
Randall Hill closes his career at Miami today. He'll be playing in the Senior Bowl in a couple of weeks. Reminded us of Bo Jackson one time for the Raiders, running it all the way up the ramp, continuing on, taking that celebration to the ramp.
You know, he had taken a lot of heat earlier in the year because the coaches didn't like the celebration he had on the field, exploiting dances, that type of thing. So this time he ran right up into the tunnel and did the dance in the tunnel. Had a long talk with him the other day. He was very concerned about the way the pros thought about him and his attitude.
Kick comes to the 4-yard line. Samuels across the 20, across the 30, and out of bounds. Next Sunday, or this coming up on Sunday, we'll have wild card action. The New Orleans Saints getting into the playoffs last night with the victory over the Rams. Be facing the Chicago Bears. Wild card action. Start 3:30 Eastern time here on CBS Sports.
A little bit ironic, isn't it, that the Saints knocked the Cowboys out with that win last night, and it was Walsh who left Dallas to go to play with New Orleans. They came up with the big play to set up the final field goal.
I'm sure Steve is watching this game. He used to room with Craig Erickson. Erickson will be the next to join the Miami Millionaire Club, as Bailey, who's had a big afternoon, gets help off the field. Talking about that Miami Millionaire Club, you add them up: Kelly, Kozar, Vinny Testaverde, and Steve Walsh. They have contracts totaling $48 million.
Number one, baby, it ain't over yet.
Craig Erickson with 3 touchdown passes today, and he'll be the next one to join him on Sundays.
12 for 20, 210 yards. You know, that offense got started. John Elway's dad, Jack, who ran the veer, got all of his running backs hurt except one, so he put a wide receiver in the game, another motion man, and bingo, the one-back motion set from the veer.
Herbert James has replaced Bailey at the corner. First down for Texas. Looking for his receiver, Cash, and the catch near the 40-yard line.
I haven't seen a defense hit harder than this all year long. And that's pretty indicative. Not only has Gardere not had time, but his receivers are running around with their head on a swivel, seeing where the next hit is coming from.
Second down, 5 to go. Hadnot bursting for the first near midfield. Chuck Johnson with a good block. 7 seniors start on offense for Texas. What kind of offense do you think they'll have next year, losing the bulk of it to graduation?
Well, they do, but I tell you, they've got a lot of people coming in at a lot of different positions that are playing extremely well. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see Texas go out and recruit 10 or 12 linemen because that's where they're hurt the most. But besides that, they're loaded at the skilled spots, the skilled positions.
First down play, rolling and throwing. Gardere hits Samuels for a gain of about 7. Mr. Quotes, the most quotable man in college football, Mike Sullivan, his career closing today. 48 games started in his career. You can't get better than that.
No, he's a quality man, too. Played through a back and ankle injury all year. Only practices 2 days a week because his back is so bad.
Second down and 3. Running play, Samuels, and a first down near the 40. So Texas putting a little drive together. Having scored only on a field goal by Pollock.
Told that the injury to Bailey was just cramps, so he's all right, and we'll be back.
Mentioned Gardere now coming under center. Number 3 all-time Texas high school quarterback. One of the guys ahead of him passing yardage was Ty Detmer. Here he pitches to Hadnot. He's got another first down for the Longhorns. And Russell Maryland's way downfield to make the tackle for the Hurricanes. Hadnot's going to go over 100 today. He's at 98 right now.
This game for me is just another reminder why college football should have a playoff system. Here's Miami with 2 losses, but probably playing its best football of the year today. Florida State beat Penn State the other night, and they could be playing better than anybody in the country, peaking right at the right time.
First down, Longhorns. Samuels sliding for about 3. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Miami by 30. How about that? Texas almost doubling the time of possession.
That shows you time of possession is extremely overrated. If you can score quickly, it doesn't matter whether you have the football or not.
That's right. Bailey's back in. Coming over to cover at the bottom of your screen, Johnny Walker. Second down and 8. Looking to the left, and Samuels can't hold on. Inside the 20, would have had the first. Maurice Crum on the coverage. You know, Pete Gardere, when he played at Lee High School, he was second team All-State quarterback. He made first team All-Texas as a punter. He's the backup punter to Alex Waits.
last year's press guide, that's how they have him listed, as the backup punter. Could see some action as a backup punter, and here he is now, their star quarterback.
Led him to the Cotton Bowl. 3rd down and 8. Oh, he takes a big hit back at the 36. Kevin Patrick, a freshman, and Shane Curry double up on him at the 34. Sack number 8. There's a flag in the secondary, however. And Darrell Williams, the free safety for Miami, is disgusted, so going to go against the Canes.
Holding, defensive team, 10-yard penalty.
Sebastian and Bevo. I like Bevo in that matchup.
Yeah, there's no question. Miami ought to back off that one.
What happens if the two guys let go of the rope?
Bevo scared me in the pregame, I can tell you that. Football hit him in the face when the teams were warming up. I thought he was going to run over me. He got a little bit frisky.
1st down, Hadnot on the run. Mentioned at the start, recruited back in 1959 out of Cleburne, Texas by Darrell Royal. Played for him, captained the team for the legendary coach, won a national championship, came back as an assistant to Fred Akers. We had a visit here in the booth at halftime from Coach Royal, now 66, an advisor to the school president. Hadnot over 100. 2nd and 7. Gardere lost the football.
Patrick took it right away from him.
Kevin Patrick pickpockets Peter Gardere.
Boy, Gardere just walks off shaking his head. He can't believe it. It's been that kind of day. What an alert play by Patrick. How about this, Jim? When we saw Miami early in the year, here's the play again. Watch this. Here's Patrick, 86. He's the contain guy. Takes his left hand, knocks it loose, just takes it right away from him. But when we saw Miami early in the year, everybody was saying they had to blitz more. They were playing more man coverage because they weren't getting the pressure from their front 4. So they had to bring the linebackers. Maryland, Curry, Medeiros, Hamlet, now Patrick, they're all responding and rising to the occasion today.
4 turnovers now for Miami. McGuire. On his back is Brian Jones. Patching up the Big East on their shoulders as Miami will join that conference and hook up some sort of football agreement with the schools there. They kind of met their future Big East opponents in a 3-game stretch this season. Pitt, Boston College, and Syracuse. Basketball team will join the Big East next season. Leonard Hamilton, he will get that program going. Leonard Conley, 1st down for Miami to the 40-yard line.
Think there'll be an alliance between the Big East and the ACC in football?
Now there's going to be, it appears that agreement with the likes of Rutgers and West Virginia. And an injured player on the field, Claude Jones, who, Tim, we've seen injured in several games this year. Here's a guy who's played hurt all season. Jones, a junior from Fort Lauderdale. I remember the game against Florida State where he had an ankle sprain and then got poked in the eye and then still came back to play against Florida State as they dominated that line of scrimmage against the Seminoles and ran right by them that day.
Well, we talked about this game, the defense being the most physical we've seen all year. The game you allude to, the Miami-Florida State game, was perhaps the most dominating line play we've seen all year. Miami just came out, ran the ball for over 250 yards.
Mario Cristobal will come in at right guard. So we've got the brothers, the Cristobal brothers, at right and left guard. 1st down, Miami. Pulling to the left, Conley. Sprints near the 50. And another flag on the play.
This might be against Cristobal for holding, and it will be. How about Conley? LC's back. He was suspended for 2 games, breaking team rules. Now ready to emotionally explode.
Holding offensive team during the run, 10-yard penalty.
Miami now 12 penalties, 152 yards. We've mentioned it's been a record-setting day for the Hurricanes in that department, both in number of penalties and yardage. At this point, it appears the only thing in doubt in this ball game is, will Miami go over 200 in penalties? 1st and 20. Good catch by Conley, and he is driven down by Brian Jones.
Brian Jones is active. Even though the score is 33-3 Miami, Brian Jones is playing his heart out. He's an outstanding linebacker. And what he does is he reads quickly and reacts even quicker. Gets to the ball. He can run very, very well for a guy of his size who's almost 42 pounds.
3 receivers to the right. 2nd and 14, closing seconds of the 3rd quarter. On the run, Bethel on the catch into Texas territory. Butts heads and drives inside the 40. 25 yards for Randy Bethel. This big guy was a high school quarterback out of Vero Beach, and his receiver was Dale Dawkins, one of the big-time receivers at Miami who graduated last year. Bethel was throwing to Dale Dawkins back in the high school days, but he outgrew the position.
He sure did do that. 6'3", 240. That's his 2nd catch of the day.
And that ends the 3rd quarter. Miami 33, Texas 3. Our coverage continues after this message and a word from your local station.
Welcome back to Dallas, Texas, and the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic, where Miami is leading Texas 33-3 as we get ready for the start of the 4th quarter. We'd like to wish all of you a very happy new year from all of us here at CBS Sports. Now let's go back upstairs to the booth and Jim and Tim.
Andrea, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Andrea.
Let me extend those wishes to my partner, Tim Brandt.
And to you, Jim.
Starting the 4th quarter, Miami at the Texas 39, 1st down. 3 receivers to the left, Carroll, Williams, and Hill. But they'll run it right with McGuire. Gain of about 6. Winfred Tubbs, backup linebacker, made the hit.
McGuire got around the corner and squared up so he could have some leverage when he made contact with the defensive back on that side. Got a low center of gravity and just exploded. He now has 9 carries, 33 yards.
Give him 5 on the carry. 2nd and 5. Play action. Rolling, throwing, and hitting his tight end. Chudzinski taken way out. Lance Gunn fired the pistol. Gain of 8. First catch for Rob Chudzinski. And Tech is on its way to victory, it appears. And if that's the case, that would close out Notre Dame's hopes of winning the championship tonight in the orange.
There are those all over the country that say Georgia Tech is not the best football team in the nation. But I can tell you this, they said they didn't play a strong schedule. Those kids don't make the schedule. They did everything that was asked of them. They're the only unbeaten team in the nation.
1st down, Canes. Pressure on Erickson. Take him down at the 35. And that's 5 sacks now for the Longhorn defense. Dronette and Lance Wilson. Shane Dronette's had a very active day, hasn't he, Tim?
He sure has. He's a very active type left defensive end. Came in as a linebacker, but ate himself onto the line. Told the coaches when he came in as a freshman, he says, hey, I'm going to start as a freshman. And he did.
They say, legend has it, that he wrestles alligators.
I heard that.
Down in that Golden Triangle area near Port Arthur and Beaumont. From Orange is where he's from.
I'll tell you this, I would not go with him down in those Everglades to disprove that myth.
Yeah, cancel my trip too. 2nd and 17. receiver fell down. Thomas, and let's go back down to John Dockery.
Jim, you see Frenchman Kenny Neal, number 6, on the sideline from Memphis, Tennessee, and you have to think that his thoughts may be far away. You see his mom, Karen, had hoped to come to the game today, but she is in the Army Reserves, a 2nd lieutenant, and as we speak, her unit was called up, and they're on their way to Saudi Arabia. So his thoughts may be far away, and our thoughts, of course, go to a Happy New Year to all the men and women in the Persian Gulf with a hope for a swift and safe return. Back to you, Jim.
Here, here, Doc. 3rd and 17 for the Canes. Complete to Carroll for a first down. I thought this might get intercepted. Grady Cavness was in the area, but Carroll positioned himself to bring it down.
This is where it goes from being a passing attack to a receiving attack. The receiver makes this play. Carroll has led the nation in receiving yards most of this entire season. Came into this game with 61 catches. He averages 16 yards per catch. That one for 20. He's got 8 catches today for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Running play, Alex Johnson zips it to the 5. Tubbs on the tackle. Here's a guy, Johnson, who will graduate in May in 4 years with a business degree.
He's the fastest running back in the club. 4.4 speed, big play threat. Had a bad ankle in the middle of the season, but he's running back to form now.
His replacement are actually joined now by Shannon Crowell. 2nd and 1 for Miami. A pitch to Johnson. Oh, Johnson dropped again by Dronette. And a flag thrown on the back end of it.
Personal foul, grabbing the face man, defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
You know, that penalty, too, nullifies an outstanding play by Dronette. Just played it off, came up, great pursuit. You'll see him here from behind. He goes after Johnson. I never did see the face mask, did you? Never got the face mask.
Nope, never did. Grab him by the shoulder pad.
Not once. You know what we didn't mention about Dronette? He's a Golden Gloves boxing champion. So I heard one of the Miami guys say it's about time. They better be careful with Dronette.
1st and goal for the Canes. Alex Johnson, a 1-yard gain. Lance Wilson and Todd Hunt on the tackle.
Right, red X, man. I get tight end right there. Hey, yo, mama!
Air Erickson has thrown 3 touchdowns. And he came over for a quick word to Dennis Erickson and said we could hit the tight end. 2nd and goal. Looking for the tight end. Touchdown, Miami. Randy Bethel. I guess that should prove to Texas A&M that the Texas coaches aren't always listening to our feed. Extra point blocked.
They can return it.
That breaks Huerta's record. Gunn is running it back, going for 2 points, and dropped at the 40.
And another flag is dropped late at the end of that play.
Carlos Huerta had been successful on 145 straight.
Almost back on the crib. Now.
Dronette got the blocked point after. Again, ending Huerta's point after streak, the all-time record in college football. Joe Moore, the holder, is on the field.
Now, it's not unusual for Dronette to block a kick. That's his third block this year. He's 6'6", and they use that height in the kicking game. We heard the Ericksons talking about this play on the sideline. Go to the tight end. The tight end can beat him. They isolate the tight end on the safety, and you see Bethel here working against Richard. Stanley Richard, the safety, no contest. They put the ball out there. That's the 4th touchdown pass for Erickson. That's a Cotton Bowl record. And how about this? 26 of 39 Miami points, Jim, have come after Texas turnovers.
Dronette, watch 81 in the middle coming through, knocking it down. Lance Gunn retrieved it and was tackled, and a penalty, a personal foul penalty. What else? The way it's been going, Miami. And that backs him up to the 20 to kick it here. And that's Walker. And a good tackle at the 33 and another flag.
What a surprise that is.
I got to think some of the officials' arms are getting tired from reaching back and throwing those flags.
Running out of laundry.
You mentioned the 4 touchdown passes by Craig Erickson is a new Cotton Bowl record.
During the run by Clippin offensive team.
And the last, well, it breaks the record of 3 touchdown passes in a Cotton Bowl game, last performed by Doug Flutie. Craig's going on to the Hula and the Japan All-Star Bowls. Phil Brown is coming to the backfield for Texas. Gardere almost intercepted, and he is.
What an interception.
Herbert James on the pickoff.
A lot of guys getting playing time. Erickson's over on the sidelines. We just heard him making his social plans. He's talking about going swimming. Meanwhile, look at the pick.
Herbert James, who had filled in a little while for Robert Bailey. They were high school teammates, in fact, Bailey and James. Pass was intended for Derek Duke.
Look at him playing it inside out, staying in the hip pocket, steps in front at the last second, and then just uses strength to take it away.
New quarterback for Miami. They brought in Gino Torretta. Torretta hands off to Conley. 50 move to the outside and tackled at the 21.
You had a feeling they were going to bring a new quarterback in when Erickson's over there deciding what he's going to do on his next couple days off.
Well, Gino Torretta has seen action throughout his career at Miami, including 4 starts last year. Tech is tacking on an impressive win today against Nebraska.
And I'll tell you something, Nebraska's not a bad football team. They talk about a weak schedule, but Nebraska's fairly strong. I mentioned that Gino Torretta has had some playing time there. Taking Cristobal off, he's a little bit shaken up, but Torretta has not thrown a touchdown this year, has thrown 1 interception, but he's 21 of 41 in the passing department.
Consider this, he's the backup quarterback, and he holds the Miami record for most yards passing in a game. All those great quarterbacks, the Testaverdes and Walshes and Kozars and Kellys, and Erickson, for that matter, and he threw for 468 last year in a game against San Jose State. Almost 500 yards, that's a Miami record. Cristobal to the bench.
Boy, even Bevo's worn out. Where's the beef?
Second down and 10. Crowell out in motion. Torretta hits his man. No, he dropped it. Crowell working on the sidelines, and in his defense, the pass a little behind him. How about Erickson's numbers today, Tim?
17 of 26, 272 yards and 4 touchdowns. Look at where he threw him down the middle. He was 1 for 2. Basically took things outside and underneath. Watch this. 7 for 11 on the left side, 3 for 4 on the right side. Like that left side. Mike Swanson had a tough time keeping up with the numbers today, filling in for Roger Riley. It's needed a calculator.
3rd and 10. Breaking through is Connolly for the first. Still on his feet. Connolly will not be denied. Touchdown, Miami. Just tied for most points scored by a team in the Cotton Bowl, tying Boston College in its victory over Houston back in '85, but they can get the record, hold the record all to themselves if Huerta makes the point after.
You think he can handle the pressure?
Intense pressure. He did have his PAT streak snapped on the last attempt, but the all-time score at Miami will give Miami the Cotton Bowl scoring record. There it is, splitting the sticks.
How about Leonard Connolly? Senior. You don't want to analyze it, you just want to admire it. As a guy coming back from a suspension, emotionally, he's just exploding. Face mask once, face mask twice, no flags, couldn't stop him. He goes in for the touchdown, and now the celebration begins.
It's the largest lead in Cotton Bowl history. Added up, 43-point lead. Tell you, Miami has certainly met the challenge and more today. And to my partner, Tim Brandt, we know you've got new challenges ahead this year. And I just want to say a heartfelt thanks for your friendship and for all you've done for CBS the last 4 years, and especially all your friends out here at college football. This crew wants to wish you all the best, and we're going to miss you. We're going to be friends forever.
Jim, I appreciate that. You're a special talent with an amazing amount of class and compassion, and you're right. I walk away with some great friends and a lifetime of memories. We'll meet again.
I look forward to it.
It'll be my pleasure.
Miami tagged again with a 15-yard infraction, moving in on 200. Excess celebration, they say. So they kick from the 20 again. Adrian Walker out to the 40. It's been a record-setting day all the way around for Miami. Let's go back down to John Dockery.
You know, Jim, amidst all the celebration by Miami, a sad moment as Louis Cristobal heads towards the locker room. He was in considerable pain and groggy. No official report. But as you can see, they are taking him to the locker room right now.
Texas has brought in its second-string quarterback. Jimmy Saxton will come in, replacing Peter Gardere. Saxton is a freshman from Austin. He's got another freshman in the backfield, Phil Brown. Flags against Texas. They were moving at the snap. Stephen Clark was. Miami may refuse the penalty. Mark Caesar bringing down Phil Brown. So Gardere is out. He exits what has had to have been the longest afternoon of his life. But 2 more years of football ahead, and he's had a terrific season.
Offensive team decline.
He has had that. You know, 187 penalty yards against Miami alone. Now listen to this, Jim. 187 penalty yards against Miami. Texas offense has only gotten 147 yards today.
Gardaire's final numbers, 7 of 16, 3 interceptions, a total of only 40 yards passing, and he was sacked 8 times. 2nd and 12, they run the option with Saxton. No. Tell you what, you talk about taking out the quarterback. Mark Caesar.
Well, Caesar read a scouting report because Jimmy Saxton comes in as the running quarterback, 4.5 speed, and he's an option guy. So right away you look for the option.
Eight minutes, 20 seconds remaining. 3rd and 17. Saxton, the son of a former Longhorn great by the same name. He's a teammate, in fact, of McWilliams. Saxton hits his pass near the 50. Mike Davis, and that's about 2 yards shy of a first. A gain of 16. And they're bringing out the punting unit.
A lot of the young guys will get experience now in this game. It's long been over. 11 minutes to go in the 3rd period. I think we thought it was out of reach then, said so. Now it's 46-3, obviously over with 7:45 left. So just play, everybody.
Waits with no one deep. Whoop, that's a backward bounce for the Longhorns, and down it at the 23. Not only has this been a hurricane running across the plains of Texas, it's been a flat-out explosion. You know, our cameraman extraordinaire, Herman Lang, has been coming here since 1964 was his first year. It's his 26th Cotton Bowl. It's good to have him again. He's worked every Masters, in fact, at CBS. Herman.
1964 Masters. That had to be Arnold Palmer, huh?
Very good. I think you're right. Shannon Crowell. What do you think, now that we see the way Tech has played today, and to give you credit, you've been saying all week Tech was going to win that game. Miami's performance.
I'll tell you something. A lot of people have written Miami out of the national title. And if Georgia Tech wins, then Georgia Tech should win the title.
Look at this. Over the head of Spencer. And a few boos here for the Longhorn fans who have remained. Most of the people have gone on home on this bitter cold day.
Tech will win it. So they'll be watching the Orange Bowl tonight with tremendous interest. And I still give Notre Dame a little bit of the edge. I think Colorado is a better football team than Notre Dame. But I think Notre Dame's going to win because Colorado's not a great passing team. Lou Holtz will challenge them to throw. That's what beat them last year, although they have put more emphasis and improved their passing game.
I like Notre Dame tonight as well, but Miami will not be able to jump Tech in the polls, like you said.
No, Miami will not be able to jump Tech, and how about this?
Mike Sullivan and his mother. His parents are immigrants from Ireland.
Hey, how you doing? This is great.
Mike always told us that my folks don't understand football at all, but they go to the games. And the fact they came down from Chicago, they're home now, and watched him play against Notre Dame this year. There's the punt to Samuels. And taken down at the 45. 34-yard punt. Coleman Bell, the tight end of the future at Miami, made the tackle.
I can understand that mentality. You know, I'm Irish, and Irishmen always love a good time.
Yeah.
You don't have to understand the game to know where there's going to be a good time.
Six minutes remaining. And it's what is the most lopsided Cotton Bowl in its history.
and one of the longest.
Here's the end around to Davis. Back him up yardage. Good play by the Miami defense. We've got the wild card weekend coming up. Saints and the Bears on Sunday. You'll see it on CBS. That'll in fact be the final playoff game of the weekend at 3:30 Eastern time. We hope you'll be with us for New Orleans at Chicago. That last tackle made by Dexter Siegler. Movement on the right side for Texas.
And the game goes on and on.
Dead ball. Illegal motion, offensive line, 5-yard penalty.
The largest point differential in Cotton Bowl history was 1945 when Oklahoma A&M shut out TCU 34-0.
Fiction and fact from Jim's Almanac.
So the 34 points exceeded now, obviously, by Miami's 43-point differential. There's a sack by Kenny Lopez, a freshman from Key West, Florida. And another flag on the field. Tech has won it over Nebraska. Congratulations to Bobby Ross and the Yellow Jackets.
Boy, let me second that. Bobby Ross was my linebacker coach at the University of Maryland. He's a quality guy, and he is an outstanding football coach. Georgia Tech folks hung with him through a tough span. He lost 16 straight ACC games, and he comes back, and he's got a shot now, a legitimate shot at the national title.
Come on, Big Ed!
Another personal foul against Miami. And the Canes have gone over 200 yards. And penalty yardage, 202. Running it is Phil Brown into Miami territory at the 46. And down to the Dockster. John?
You know, Jim, when you think about it, Miami has a remarkable group of fifth-year seniors, 5 in all. Sullivan, Handy, Cristobal, Chudzinski, Russell, Maryland. And what they've achieved, it's just incredible. Look at these numbers, 29-0 at home, 5 major bowls, 2 national championships, lost only 5 games in 5 years. And if Miami finishes first to second year in the AP, the only group of seniors ever to finish first or second over a 5-year period. And on top of that, all have graduated and are pursuing second degrees. A remarkable group.
Saxton on the keep. Saxton inside the 25 and down to the 22.
There's a redshirt freshman playing with some emotion. He doesn't even care the score is 46-3 right now. He's just playing hard. He's trying to gain some yardage, playing with some enthusiasm, playing for the future.
24 yards by Jimmy Saxton. His father arrived with the Longhorns at a Cotton Bowl, and as a youngster, he was a backup quarterback, later switched to an all-Southwest Conference All-America running back. There could even be a chance that someday Saxton will play as a running back. He's got great speed. The option sprint quarterback with a flag on the field inside the 20 and down to the 12. Kip Vickers made the tackle. Flag back at the 28. Bebo looks like he's a little perked up now that he sees the Longhorns driving. He won't like that call. You know, Doc made a great point a moment ago about the seniors who all graduated. Chudzinski and Sullivan have both received NCAA postgraduate scholarships, the first 2 in Miami history, from the football team, and they'll continue their education, having already received their undergraduate degrees. They also, those 5 fulfilled seniors, there's Chud, as they know him, played in all of the major New Year's Day bowls they were eligible for, the Fiesta, the Cotton, the Sugar, and the Orange in their careers. That's great accomplishment. Another flag on the field with Brown racing to the 20.
That was fun at the luncheon the other day when they awarded the academic honors to Chud. Listening to him speak, listening to the reaction of his team.
Offside, defense, violation, neutral zone. Penalty is declined.
Did an outstanding job. You know, it's not easy for a young guy to get up and stand in front of a big room like that with hundreds and hundreds of people. Was that you or was that Bevo?
That one was Bevo.
Make a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, we got a little contest going.
Sure do.
I'll see you at the Kemper. I'll step on the scales, okay?
Absolutely.
Saxton trying to find the end zone for Texas. Down to the 10. Terrace Harris on the tackle. You saw that shot of the guy waving the flag by the band area. Most of the people have cleared out. That's what you call a loyal fan. He's staying with them throughout, hoping Texas will find the end zone before the afternoon's complete. 18-3 at halftime, and Miami scoring 27 more in the second half. First down for Texas. Brown, a loss of a yard. You remember how that first half ended? Miami went for it, 4th and goal from the 3, and was denied as Kerry Cash made the reception out of bounds. That's the closest Texas has been to scoring a touchdown today.
But you know what, Jim? I don't think that really had anything to do with the switch of momentum. I mean, the momentum and the tone had been set by Miami, and they just dominated from the flip of the coin on.
I agree with you, Tim. 2nd and 11. They pitch it outside, and Brown gets to the 6. I'll tell you when they set the tone. When Miami came onto the field first, left the ramp, came onto the field, went to the sideline, and then came right back to the ramp end zone and watched the Longhorns come breaking out, and pointed at him, looked at him, stood right there, watched him walk onto the field, stared down at him. I think it was a major intimidation move by Miami, and it may have affected Texas. 3rd down and 5. Timeout called by Texas. Saxton will talk it over. We'll be right back.
All stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
Oh, boy.
Well, Miami having manhandled Texas today. There were a lot of people in this area who thought the prospects for the Southwest Conference were great today after what A&M put on BYU in the Holiday Bowl. Put a 60 on them. Tonight on CBS, we should have called a while ago. Rescue 911.
You're right.
Followed by Her Wicked Ways. 3rd and 5. Texas quarterback draw and no gain. Smothered by Vickers, but there is a flag on the field.
This was such a tragedy, though they may not have responded. Hey, Jim, forget about what's going to happen tonight. Forget about the polls. Who do you think right now is playing the best football in America?
I think Miami is the best college football team in the land, but they don't deserve to win the championship. They had their opportunities, but they let the WAC beat up on them. BYU beat them, and San Diego State gave them a close match. I think they are the best team in college football.
So if there was a playoff and they were going into a playoff right now, you'd give them the edge.
I would absolutely, without hesitation, give Miami the edge.
I wouldn't count out Florida State in that situation.
4th down for the Horns. One more try for the goal line. Throwing and incomplete. With a minute left. I must add, however, I do not believe Miami should win this championship this season with its losses in a close game against San Diego State that dropped them from 3 to 4.
Jimmy Stamos, Lou Codian, Mike Swanson, Roger Riley, everybody up here in the booth, Happy New Year to you. You did a great job today.
You know, the guys down in the booth, as we look at the record set today, our producer Michael Burks, director by Joe Assetti, we've had a lot of fun. We're going to flash back at some of the great moments of the year in just a little while. George Barris, who did an outstanding job this year in the college football today. There's a running play by Patton. Joe Terry was directing back in the studio all year. Mike Cohen and Lance Barrow coming back home to Texas for the Cotton Bowl. Our associate directors, John Gerstel and Kenny Mack, our BAs.
Don't forget Doc down on the sidelines.
Senior producer David Winter and executive producer Ted Shaker. A Happy New Year to the whole gang. Biggest blowout in Cotton Bowl history. The dream season continues. And a good run out to the 18-yard line by Patton to close it out. They're dancing at midfield.
Miami 46, Texas 3.
Texas was dancing with wolves today as the Hurricanes blew them out 46-3. So for Tim Brandt, John Dockery, Andrea Joyce, and Mike Francesa, this is Jim Nance saying so long from the Cotton Bowl. Next Saturday, tune into CBS for a women's basketball doubleheader as Purdue faces Auburn and Georgia takes on Iowa starting at 1:30 Eastern. It's been a great college football season. Our last telecast, we'd like to share many of the great moments. Tim, this is for you, and for all of you folks who joined us this season, thanks a lot, and look back at another great year of college football.
These are the days of the endless summer. These are the days, the time is now. There is no past, there's only future. There's only here, there's only now. Oh, your smiling face, your gracious presence, are the Father's spring, a kindling breath, are the radiant heart, you're the song of glory, cry of freedom in the night. These are the days of the endless dancing, and the long walks on the summer night. These are the days of the true romancing, when I was in you, oh so sad. These are the days now that we must savor, and we must enjoy as we can. These are the days that will last forever. You got to hold them Yeah, your heart. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na na na. These are days.